This might not look like much, but this is where the magic's gonna happen. Welcome to my new distilling space. Hey everyone, Distiller Greyling here, one of your favorite home and hobby distillers. And yes, this is my new space, my new environment. This is where the magic is gonna happen. So maybe a little backstory. We moved from Gauteng to Western Cape, and then we moved again to a slightly larger place. So all my distilling equipment is here. We've already unpacked the drums, and I just like to show you guys where everything's gonna happen, how it's gonna happen, and how we're gonna do it. So let me go show you. We are very fortunate to have a garage door that directly goes into the kitchen. So it makes a little bit of the work much more easier, flowing more better. So first up, we're gonna have the fermentation zone. All right, so in here, we'll have my fermentation zone. The fermenters will stand on here. I'm also planning to get more electricity up all the way to here. At the moment, there's only plugs at the back of the washing machine, but let me show you how it's gonna look. I might see if I'm gonna find a better way to place my cooling tubes. At the moment, I just keep it in the barrel, just for safekeeping and keeping a little bit of the dust off. But maybe I will hook them up, have them hanging around, let it always remind me of what's next. So fermenting buckets, planning to have them here. And I'm also rather thinking of doing smaller batches at first, maybe 500 liter bottles, where I used to have my small bubblers on top, but we'll definitely see how it works out. But at the moment, that's the idea. It's gonna stand here. I will also have all my, let me just put this down. I will also have all my taps at the bottom and my heaters on top, just to make sure everything is settled. I will definitely try to do the first sugar washes with the two barrels, the two buckets. It's gonna be one sugar wash as normal with turbo yeast, and the second one I'm gonna try with baker's yeast, just to see what's the difference going to be. All right, so this is fermentation zone. Obviously not going to use the cooling coil for fermentation as of yet, only maybe when I do a bit of drain a little bit later. But the plan is fermentation zone here. Let me go show you the next spot. So from the garage, going into the kitchen. So the idea is to place the still right here for distillation. So it's going to have a little bit of access to the window for cooling water, or maybe all the way out by the garage also for cooling water. I have not really thought about the process yet of where the cooling water is going to be. There's also a nice space going back outside the back. There is a water tank outside. I will go show you guys there as well, with the idea of using that water tank to recycle the water instead of just using water straight from a tap. But okay, still it's going to stand here. So let me put it here and you guys can see how it's going to look. For a moment I was wondering if it's going to fit here or not. I really didn't test it, but it actually works nice. So yes, this is the idea. Like I said, the retort stand, I will still use it to have a little bit of stability. It is standing, hopefully, but I'm just afraid that it's going to have a little bit of a knock and it might fall down. So retort stand will definitely grip it here and keep it steady. So yes, I think it's going to look really cool. So most probably I will also shift it that I can stand on the other side and have a look at it. Have my cups here as I'm doing my cuts. But yes, starting to get excited knowing that we're going to get there sometime. So yes, distilling zone right here. Good ventilation. I can keep this door open, can keep the back door open and the window of course. So always to make sure there's good ventilation as well. I am going to use the induction stove here. Plan maybe a bit later to also try and do a bit of gas to see what's the difference of how you regulate with a gas heater. But then I might use the gas one outside just for better ventilation. And I also do got safety, got a fire extinguisher ready if something would happen. Most probably will keep the fire extinguisher handy as well when I do normal distillations, even though there's no open flames. Rather just be safe than sorry. All right, next up, show you where I will do most of my discussions. Right here is where some of the recent videos have been filmed. So this is my new think space where I will sit and discuss what we're going to do, how we did it, and also have the results afterwards. You know, when we have like a close out and to say, right, this is what we did today, this was the results and the outcomes. So this will most probably be where most of the Distilling extra Greyling videos will be shoot, where most of the practicals will be around the different zones. But let me go show you where my stuff is also placed, or storage is. I've got a nice space in the kitchen. Alright, so in the kitchen there's a gas stove, and inside the gas bottle is here. You can see the ventilation holes. I'm not going to use the gas stove for distillation, but I found that this cover is going to be perfect for all my distilling stuff. The cover itself still goes in quite deep, and it was strange enough that you can't really put anything in there that you can use daily. So the idea was that I can have my distilling stuff in here, I can have my citrus acid and my potassium carbonate, my wood chips, my hydrometers, hydrometers, alcohol meters, the induction stove itself, aquarium heaters. At the bottom I've got all my plastic equipment as well. So it's packed up nicely, out of the way, and I know it's safe. Nothing is not in the garage where it can gather a lot of dust. So here is quite perfect. I do not have any yeast yet, so yeast will probably go into the fridge. And I also don't got any extra botanicals anymore. So I will definitely also start to buy a little bit of botanicals to make sure that when I do some infusions, whether it's a gin or a spice rum or something, that I also do have that as well. But yes, this is where my equipment is going to stay, so I'm quite happy about that as well. Alright, so let's go outside and let me show you what's there. I'm thinking now that my first distillation, where I want to do the cleaning out or for first run and doing the vinegar run, it might be better to have it right here, as it's got a nice ventilation as well. Having that strong vinegar smell in the house might not be the best option. So I think actually just right here we will do our first cleaning out of the still as well. But let me go show you the water tanks. So this water tanks take water straight from the gutters, and it's a nice accumulation as well. So I'm thinking of either using this small one, it's still loose, not connected at the moment, to see if you can incorporate a loose pump where it circulates the water from the small tank through the cooling coils, or even the big one as well. It's a nice volume, so I think the cooling water will stay cold enough. I'm also only using the 13 liters, so it's not as much of cooling water that's needed. And remember, you're also closing it off a little bit. You're not using it full blast the whole time. As soon as it starts to condense, you know that's your sweet spot and you can keep it there. So I'm definitely going to see how I'm going to utilize this, as you don't want to just use tap water and have it run continuously. But yes, definitely going to see how we can incorporate that. All right, so let's round it off. Let's go back to the thinking space. So that's it, guys. So this is my distilling space, where we are now and how I'm going to use it. So obviously, as we're going to start to ferment and distill, we're probably going to change a few things or maybe do a little bit different. And like I said, I'm not 100% sure yet exactly when I distill, how am I going to distill, even do the fermentation as well. But if you guys have any ideas or want to share what you guys has worked for you, please pop it in a comment, give me a thumbs up and subscribe. It will definitely help me. So I hope this help you guys to show what's coming. This will also be the last video in the comeback series. So starting from the next video is going to be the first of the 100 videos that we're going to attempt, and we're definitely going to push it through. So I'm very excited for that as well. So I hope you guys enjoyed it, and as always, be awesome, be kind, and be yourself. Cheers.